Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends retro carded The Uncanny X-Men Longshot figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey I'm fucking with. Hype beast we know about. You stay buying figs, don't know about.
Here's a quick look at the back of the package. You can see the 6 figures in this wave or in this series. None come with a Build-A-Figure part. This is not a Build-A-Figure wave. But yeah, let's bust this bad boy open and see what's what. Alright, here we go. Longshot, aka Longshot. Our third Longshot in the life of the Marvel Legends line. The very first being back in the day in the Mojo Build-A-Figure wave from Toy Biz. This particular version that's part of this retro carded wave is the second from Hasbro in a matter of months, basically. The other figure was part of the Mojo World 3-pack, which I'll also take a close look at here because I'll be opening that figure for the first time. I think there's just some slight deco differences between the two, but we'll get into that shortly. His bio on the back of the package reads, "The alien performer and hero Longshot uses his probability manipulating powers to turn any odds in his favor." Longshot was created by writer Ann Nocenti and artist Art Adams and first appeared in Longshot #1 in September of 1985. That first issue being the Kickstarter for a 6-part miniseries that was the first major work for Ann Nocenti and Art Adams. Now Longshot is a genetically engineered being from the Mojoverse who was part of a slave race. He was created not only by scientific means, but there was some magic involved in creating him as well, which kind of lends to his powers of probability or luck, hence the name Longshot. But he also has superhuman reflexes, agility. He's a great hand-to-hand combatant. He's got 2 hearts, 3 fingers, and an opposable thumb on each hand, and he's also equipped with a healing factor. Of course, he's had affiliations with the X-Men. Obviously, he's part of the X-Men retro carded wave here, but also X-Factor, New Excalibur, and the Exiles. Pretty much his classic deco, very 80s inspired hair and clothing, all black with some brown highlights as far as the strap across his chest and belt with the pouches. You can see he has a sheath there. He is packed in with a couple of extra accessories. Pretty nice head sculpt. You see that star over his left eye. Again, the mullet, the 80s hairdo, which is like a 2000s hairdo now because a lot of people rocking mullets right now. Straight out of the package, these are the 2 hands that are attached. He's got a right hand that's open and cupped and a left hand that's sculpted with these little throwing knives in between each one of his fingers. Wouldn't make sense to have a sheath for a knife without a knife. He is packed in with a knife, which can be sheathed on his right side. And then he's also packed in with an additional right fist and left open hand with the fingers spread. He's also packed in with his little signature merce, which can be strewn across his chest, or you could just wear it on his shoulder, whatever you want to do. Pretty good looking figure. Nice choice of sculpt body. I think it represents the character well from the comic books. I could see them reusing this quite a bit, maybe for a Ghost Rider. I think they're using some parts from this guy for the upcoming Chamber figure, if I'm not mistaken. But considering how unique these hands are, he should have been packed in with 1 more set of hands. You're not going to be able to swap hands between previous figures that we have because they're not going to have 3 fingers and an opposable thumb. So it's a situation similar to that of Maggot, where they definitely should have given us more hands for Maggot as well because there's no other big blue hands with fingerless gloves. But yeah, the knife, the bag, the 2 sets of interchangeable hands, and that's it. Now it is a completely pinless body, so I guess some of the budget went to that, but no additional head sculpt. Of course, the head does pop off, pretty typical neck peg, but this is one of the newer neck joints that actually rotates, and there is the hinge, so that's pretty cool. Shoulders will go up about that far. You can do a full 360. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You get a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. Ab crunch forward, back, waist swivel, T-joint at the pelvis. The leg will come up pretty far. You also get a nice split. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a barbell joint inside there. Inside the crotch area, pelvic area, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee. You get rotation at the boot, ankle pivot, hinge. So I was eager to get Mojo out of the Mojo World 3-pack, but I never opened the boxes for Dazzler or Longshot. This is the box here for Longshot. This is the front and the back. Or maybe this is the front and that was the back. I don't know. No, I think that was the front. But pretty cool illustrations nonetheless. And I got a QC issue straight out of the box here. Looks like his the band for the sheath is kind of stuck in the upper thigh swivel. And maybe I'll have to pull the leg off to get that back into place. All right, back in business. A little hot water. Popped the leg off, pushed it back down, and spent it around a little bit. There we go. So there's the two side by side. Some slight deco differences between the two. Mojo World on the left, retro carded Wave on the right. You can see on the retro carded Wave, the star emblem on his chest is gold or yellow, and it's white from the Mojo World box set. The hair is slightly different between the two. Both eyes fully painted on the Mojo World version, and then you have the star over the left eye on the retro carded version. The black to the suits are just slightly different, as is the brown for the strap across his chest and the pouches and the sheath for the knife. Same sets of hands, but the Mojo World box set version does not come with the Merce. So I guess I am glad I got both. I could swap the heads between the two and use the Merce for either or. And there's a size comparison with his wave mates. So Avalanche on the left. Somebody had made a comment that they didn't even put the A on Avalanche's costume anywhere. Also, Avalanche is the only one so far that I've reviewed that does not have pinless joints. And being that he didn't come with any real accessories aside from an extra set of interchangeable hands, it would have been nice if they spent a little bit more and put him on a pinless body, because yeah, Longshot and Wolverine here are both on pinless bucks. I didn't even mention that in the Wolverine review, but that's also probably where some of the budget went to. A couple of more recent things that I reviewed and messed around with, and also a couple of more pinless bodies in Daredevil on the left from that 3-pack with Elektra and Bullseye, and the Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man figure, which is now my favorite Spider-Man figure from Marvel Legends. And digging in the crates here a little bit, which I didn't do in the Wolverine review. Well, let's start on the far left. We have the modern Excalibur 3-pack Kitty Pryde, in which I did my little hair mod, but she's holding the old Toy Biz Lockheed, which is better than anything that Hasbro put out recently. Yeah, I like this Lockheed a lot better than those tiny ones that they've been putting out recently. And then we have the old Mojo Build-A-Figure Wave Longshot, which actually still looks okay. You know, he had some weird proportions or what have you, but he was highly articulated, decent head sculpt. You know, for the time, we loved this figure. Obviously, the newer version is superior. And then Hasbro, when they first took over from Toy Biz, you know, they tried to do a few things that were new, cool, creative, or what have you. And they started this Jim Lee costume X-Men team with this 2-pack here that featured Wolverine and Forge, but you know, they never explored it beyond that. And this Wolverine is honestly probably one of Hasbro's worst figures that they ever put out. Look at how goofy this thing looks, and look at where we are right now with the pinless, proper height Wolverine, well articulated, great head sculpts from Paul Harding. Look at that Forge. So now we right on the cusp of completing this team with new bodies, new head sculpts, better proportions. So as much shit as I give Hasbro, or we all do collectively as collectors, we're in a pretty good space right now. Look at that though. I talked about wanting some extra open hands for Wolverine, and you can actually pop this additional hand on from the old Hasbro 2-pack Wolverine. So I might keep this around. Also, there's that. I never showed that in the Avalanche review. Again, I said I would show bonus content in this long shot review, so that's what I'm doing. But this is the old Toy Biz X-Men Classics Avalanche in more of a modern costume. But look, he's got an angry face. How they didn't pack in an angry face with this new version, I don't know. But again, people are heating, popping off the helmet and swapping out the head. Also, somebody had mentioned this base that came with the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends Hulk, and how they could have just repurposed it and packed it in here with Avalanche. Not only did the old Toy Biz version come with a Rocky base, but it also had like a gimmick where it actually shook. You could wind it up and it like actually shook too. I don't have it anymore, but they could have surely put this armor over the Vulcan Buck and he could have been pinless. And I can't have a size comparison featuring LONGSHOT without Mojo. So here's the most recent Mojo from the Mojo World 3-pack. This is the one that's a little more detailed, the better version of the two. I wouldn't even play myself buying the generic single pack Target version or whatever. We got the old Toy Biz dupe that was packed in with Deadpool, a Scroll Soldier, and on the far left, Omega Sentinel. Alright, so this is not one that you absolutely need to pick up, although he does pal around with the X-Men quite a bit, and you may be able to get him on some complete rosters, some complete teams or what have you. It's a solid figure. It's a good figure overall, but I feel like it's kind of incomplete if you don't have both versions to kind of swap parts with. I know a lot of people have been cutting back because of the price increases and what have you, so you know, this is not one I would highly recommend. It's something that I wanted for my personal collection, but again, it's a decent figure. Alright, thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there, and until next time, peace.
I'm in the game, I'm grinding, I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week, I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year, yeah.